An estimated 4 million immigrants will benefit from administrative relief. It is just one of the new immigration policies announced by President Barack Obama on Thursday evening.
Fighting for justice! Fighting for justice!
Students and families gathered at UTPA to watch President Obama's plan of executive action to fix the nation's immigration system. 21-year-old Roxana Menchaca is glad that her mother is one of the undocumented to receive deferred action under the revamped policies.
Seeing her reaction, how finally she'd be able to not drive in the streets with that fear of being deported, because as we know, Border Patrol is all over the place here in the Valley.
Deferred action for childhood arrivals, known as DACA, has expanded to an approximated 290,000 and is now valid for 3 years. Unfortunately, Dreamers' families were overlooked.
The U.S. needs to put families over politics. They need to know that families are more important, and it's the base thing that they need to worry about and that they need to focus about.
United We Dream's Maria Castro explained some of the other policies that apply to those eligible.
Another one is that the advanced parole for people who have deferred action is going to be a little bit more lenient. We still don't know the details of what that means, but I know many people want to go visit their families at home and see their loved ones before they pass away.
It is a bittersweet win for all involved. Menchaca reiterates that the fight for families that didn't qualify is not over.
The fight does not end now. We won't stop fighting till there's justice for all.
For BRTV News, I am JP Hernandez.
As Texas lawmakers find themselves closer at attempting to repeal the DREAM Act, a feeling of uncertainty looms over the heads of undocumented students. Senate Bill 1819 would force about 25,000 undocumented students to pay out-of-state tuition, 800 of which are students at UTPA.
This is my country. I've worked here, I've studied here, so it wouldn't be fair for them to take that away from me. It would be like crushing my dreams, my dream of graduating and getting a college degree.
For Sanchez, voicing her opinion about affordable tuition on campus is vital to spark conversation among other students.
But I'm setting a path for my siblings, for other students to know that there is a way to go to college, to open doors for them.
Currently, full-time enrollment at UTPA, based on 15 credit hours, is about $6,100. However, if the measure is approved, undocumented students could pay as much as $17,000 a year.
The majority of the financial aid that they are currently eligible for, they would not be eligible for. So it would put a lot of students in the situation that maybe they really wouldn't be able to afford to go to school.
Garcia said the measure would not only change the cost of tuition for Dreamers, but also impede them from qualifying for state and institutional grants.
A lot of the programs do require for the student to be considered a Texas resident. So then they would miss out in practically the majority of the programs. Right now, the only programs that don't require Texas residency are basically your scholarships.
Merari de la Fuente, a dreamer at UTPA, believes everything they do on campus to keep in-state tuition makes a difference.
Every little thing that we do, every little thing that we contribute to keep in-state tuition, it's a big help, and that, if we keep fighting, if we keep strong, they won't take away what has been given to us and what is rightfully ours. We are not criminals, we are not anything bad, we're just students and people trying to live our lives in the only home we know.
The Senate Committee on Veterans Affairs and Military Installations voted 4-3 last week in favor of the bill. However, the bill is currently at a standstill as lawmakers wait for it to be placed on the intent calendar for a full Senate vote. Reporting for Bronx TV News, I am JP Hernandez. La Unión del Pueblo Entero, a local immigrant advocacy group, held its 12th annual Cesar Chavez March, celebrating the legacy of the farm worker leader. Unidos Venceremos, or United We Will Overcome, was selected as this year's theme in an effort to demonstrate the public's power in the wake of Judge Andrew Hannon's injunction on President Barack Obama's executive action on immigration.
Want together send a message to him and tell him that this is all the community that has come together today to fight for the release of the applications on DACA and DAPA.
Chavez believes undocumented immigrants should take the steps necessary to apply if the hold is reversed.
And we know that the applications sooner or later are going to be released. What we want them to do is to take this as an opportunity for them to gather their documents. And the more time they have to gather their documents, it will be easier for them to apply once the application is released.
But while some individuals are focusing on the steps to take right now, others are left wondering what is to happen to those who do not benefit from affirmative action.
My mom would have qualified for DAPA, but it stopped because of that judge that put a temporary block on it. And so to me, it hits the spot, you know, it hits my heart because my mom could be driving freely. My mom could be working, but she can't because of this action of the judge.
With the recent standstill, affirmative action supporter Eduardo Estrada hopes the government can put aside their differences and instead take the people's best interests into consideration.
As long as it's agreed to, not just by Obama, but by the Congress as well, as long as it would receive more support and be more acceptable, I think, if the Congress backed him up.
Judge Hannon's injunction places a hold on an executive action that could spare as many as 5 million people who are in the U.S. illegally. Chavez hopes that the judge will have a change of heart so they could be allowed to provide relief for their families. Reporting for Bronx TV, I am JP Hernandez.